Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are making sun-dried tomato and basil crackers.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're going to make these amazing nut-free crackers. Because if you know me at all or if you've watched the show at all, you know that I love crunchy things. So we're going to jump right in, and if you want the full ingredient list and the amounts, it'll be in the printable recipe link in the details below. So we're going to start out. I've got my NutriBullet here. You just need a small blender. This is sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds. And this is where you're going to get all of your wonderful omega-3 and minerals. They're super healthy for you. And then we have sun-dried tomatoes that I've just chopped up really small. These are dry sun-dried tomatoes. So they come in a package dry and they're salted. If you're gonna use the ones from the grocery store that are in oil or water, you can mix that into the water in a blender before you put it into the cracker mixture. But these I'm gonna put in with the dry mixture because they blend up better with the dry ingredients. So we're just going to blend these up together until it all is a consistency of grainy, kind of like our flax meal here. Okay, that is good enough. You don't want to over blend it because then it's just the grains are just too small and you don't see any of the nice little chunks of the sun-dried tomato. So we're just going to toss these in our bowl here. And then I have flax meal, or you could use flax seeds, but flax meal, flax seeds, it's the same amount if you're using either one. And if you're using the flax seeds, you'll want to grind it up with your other seeds. Then I have some garlic powder, onion powder, basil, and cracked pepper. And we're just going to stir this up. Make sure those little onion powder, sometimes the onion powder gets a little chunky in there. You want to break those up so you don't get a nice big bite of onion powder with your cracker. That might be a little gross. Okay, there we go. Then I have just a half a cup of water. And you could use vegetable broth if you want, but I find that vegetable broth usually has seasonings in it, and it throws off the flavor of the seasoning of the crackers. But if you don't mind, you can throw that in there too. So we're just going to mix it, just stir it up until it all starts sticking together and there's no dry seed powder left. Just like that. These are so quick and easy. You guys are just gonna love this. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of here and get a baking tray, a rolling pin, and some parchment paper.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Complement. As healthy as it is, did you know there are a handful of missing or hard to get nutrients from a plant-based diet? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why I take Complement Plus every day. Complement Plus contains the 8 critical nutrients in dosages optimized specifically for plant-based eaters. Plus, they're completely transparent about ingredient sourcing and third-party testing, publishing the results directly on their website. As a special discount for our viewers, just use the code WFPB15 at checkout to save 15% off of your order.
Okay, so now we're ready to roll these guys out. And I just kind of smash it together into a ball first, because then it's easier to roll out. Plop that onto our parchment. Okay, and I just do another piece of parchment paper on the top. That just makes it a little bit easier. Then it doesn't stick to your rolling pin and make a big mess, because that would be really hard to clean off of your rolling pin. So now I'm just rolling this out to probably about 1/4 of an inch thick. And you want to get it pretty uniform so that your crackers cook evenly. But the edges will cook a little bit faster than the middle, of course. And I already have my oven preheated to 325 degrees. Okay, when you think you have it pretty even, then we just peel that parchment paper off. Just like that. And don't worry about the edges being a little bit jagged or whatever, because when you cut them, they're all going to be little chunks of chips anyway, or crackers. All right, so now we're going to put these in the oven for 20 minutes. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowdfunded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. Our supporting members gain access to great member perks like our monthly product giveaways, ebooks, and in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so they're out of the oven for the first 20 minutes, and now we need to flip them over and score them. So I saved that piece of parchment that we had from before, and I'm just going to pull this out for a second so I can put down the other parchment onto the cookie sheet. Thanks. All right, now we have to flip. Not too bad. Okay, so now I've just got a pizza cutter, and this is completely up to you what size and shape your crackers are. I'm just gonna do just kind of a simple square ones. So I'm just gonna do cross cutting, but I'm not going all the way through. Because if you go all the way through, then the edges of the crackers get a little bit overbaked. This is just so that when we flip them back over after this next bake, that you can just simply break them apart. Oh, those are hot. Okay, now they're going back into the oven for another 20 minutes. All right, guys, they're out of the oven and slightly cooled if you want to come in and take a look. And you can see some of the edges are a little bit dark. It's really hard to get them to bake super evenly because the middle is always less baked than the outside. But now all we need to do is just break them up a little bit. And then you can just put these into an airtight Tupperware container. And I would keep them in the fridge, and they will be good for at least a week because these don't have any preservatives or anything in them, so I wouldn't leave them out on the counter, like even in a sealed container, because I think that they would just go bad after a few days. All right, so there we are. There's the crackers. I'm gonna get some hummus, and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. All right, guys, time to eat. These smell so good, and I've got my hummus here, and we'll give you the recipe link in the details below. This is also amazing hummus that you're just gonna love. Oh my gosh. There is so much flavor in these crackers. All of that sun-dried tomato and the basil comes through really nice. But the seeds, it makes the crackers so rich and delicious. Oh, you are just gonna love it. And you're also gonna love this hummus. So be sure to give it a try. So be sure to give this video a like, guys, and I'll see you next week for another great recipe.